Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Hangout. We are so excited that you're here. We're doing spring cleaning for your social media profiles. So let me get my stuff here. And all right, I just want to welcome you all to our Hangout. You're joining me, Stephanie Nissen, my co-host, Heather Hyman, and our special guest, Heather Michaelgard. Do you want to say hi, ladies?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So we are talking about spring cleaning your social media profiles, which is basically how do you do a mini audit on yourself? How do you make sure that your profile is working, that it's optimized, that it's doing all the things it should be doing? You may have set your profiles up a year ago, 2 years ago, or even 6 months ago, but it's always a good idea to go back and kind of check through and see what's what. So, like I said, my name is Stephanie Nissen. I own Nissen Media, LLC, which is a social media marketing agency out in Union, Missouri, which is a tiny town just outside St. Louis. And I act as a social media coach and strategist primarily, and I work with a lot of small businesses, primarily businesses that have 10 people or less. My co-host is Heather Hyman, and she owns Sweet Tea Social, and she's awesome. On that note, she's also out in Columbia, South Carolina. She acts as a marketing consultant, a blogger, and a speaker for social media management, and she helps clients across the United States. So she's a good person to have around, and a good person to know. She's social media made simple with a splash. So Heather Hyman, I'm going to let you introduce our guest, Heather Michaelgard.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for that lovely introduction. Okay, so yes, I get the pleasure of introducing Heather Michaelgard. Heather is an entrepreneur living just outside of the Washington, D.C. area. Heather is a transplant from the West Coast and started her small business, HM Social Strategy, around 3 years ago. She moved across the country from Idaho to the D.C. area. She has a MBA as a background and has experience with health sciences and fitness. She started her career as a wellness coach and fitness instructor, and then she moved into the marketing space, hence our connection with her. So fast forward for the last 5 years, Heather's been managing and creating marketing plans for nonprofits and small businesses, and her clients range from fitness professionals to startup technologies, firms, and she is just really excited, and she's filled with great information, and I have been so blessed to have known her for the last several months, and we're really excited for the information that she's going to be sharing with us today.
Thank you, Heather. That was an amazing introduction, and I am very excited to be here, so thank you both to Heather and Stephanie for having me.
Well, like I said, we're very excited to have you. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and start right into the content. You know what? Strike that. We're going to go back, and I want to encourage you to use a hashtag. If you are hanging out with us, we want to know that you're here. You can use hashtag SpringCleanSocial, 3 words spelled exactly how they sound, just compressed together into one, SpringCleanSocial. You can use that on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can take a screenshot of what you're watching. You can just tweet out any little nuggets that you like. We'll be monitoring along on Instagram and on Twitter, and we'll try to interact with you while this call is going on. And then, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube later, we will be checking in periodically to see if there's any chatter there. So we'll definitely be reaching out. If you want to find us all on Twitter, I'm going to have Heather Hyman just post our Twitter handles on the Google Hangout page so that you can find us all there. You'll also see them down underneath our little names. Each of us have put our Twitter handle right below our name, so you can find it right there. So we're going to now dive into the content of our Spring Cleaning Your Social Media Profiles Hangout. And we're going to kind of interview Heather Michaelgard throughout this process and get all of her great feedback on it. So first, Heather, why is this important to clean your profiles periodically? Why do people need to do this?
Sure, thanks, Stephanie. So it's important to keep your social media profiles up to date because it shows that you are on the ball, you're paying attention, you have fresh content, and that you are putting effort and time into your social media. You want people to find you, and you want to share good content with your audiences. The worst thing is for a person looking for your service to go to your Facebook page and see that you haven't put anything up there in the last 3-6 months. They may wonder if you're even still in business. So keeping your content fresh, keeping it accurate, and engaging with your audience is very, very important to increase your engagement and get people to contact you and get more customers, more clients, and just increase that overall engagement online.
Hey, real quick, Stephanie, someone is saying that they don't have anything on their screen. So just as a refresher for everyone who's wanting to make sure that they're watching the call, is it correct that they would go to the link where they had RSVP'd and the stream is live there right now? Is that correct?
Yes, it is. So I'm posting that link in the chat box on the page so that
Okay.
people can get to it. So yeah, I'm seeing those too. That a couple people are not really sure. So we're
Okay.
taking through that. So
Well, kind of following up, just adding a little bit to what you were saying, Heather, I think that's absolutely true. And like I was saying, that if a person is in business, they need to be consistent and they need to have updated information. I have a personal experience where there was a business, they were kind of in the social media space of doing management, of helping people have great profiles. But when I went to their specific social media platforms, they hadn't updated it in like 8 months. And I reached out to them seriously thinking that there was like a tech problem. And they said, oh, you know what, we're just so busy helping other clients that we just have not had any time to pay any attention to our own social media. And certainly that's great that they have clients that are keeping them busy, but it completely did not leave me feeling motivated to want to consider their training course that they were offering on social media. So you really have to like do what you say you're going to do, and you've got to walk the walk if you're going to be telling other people to do it too.
Absolutely.
That's the wisdom that I have. So we're just going to dive right into the next question and ask you, Heather, before someone were to start their spring cleaning, so to say, and that could be intimidating for someone who might be fairly new to just getting on social media in general, but let's say they started, 6 months ago, and they created the Facebook page, they created the Twitter page. How would they go about spring cleaning and just preparing for that?
Yeah, so I always start out with asking my clients what are their goals for being on social media. Are they on there because they think they have to be? Are they trying to get more people through their doors? Are they trying to have an online community where they're actually having a conversation with people and engaging? Write down a few goals of why are you on social media. And then I would suggest doing a content guide. So maybe you want to look at the next 30, 90 days of what kind of information you want to give to your audience. It could start out very basic of who you are, who is your brand, what are your hours of operations, do you have any events coming up, do you have any products that you want to promote in the next couple of months. Kind of write down what you would like people to know about you. And humanize it. People like to connect with other people, not just a logo. So make it fun. Start that content guide. And you can also kind of tie it in with the seasons. Tie it in, it's spring. Do some bright colors, some fun pictures. But if you write it all out and kind of have a roadmap of where you want to be in 90 days, I think it's easier to swallow. And then each day you can look at that guide and say, okay, this is what I wanted to talk about today, or this is what I was going to focus on this week. And then when you're online searching for content to share, you have a theme. Maybe March, you want to talk about being lucky, or it's St. Patrick's Day, so kind of writing off of that theme. And then April, it's flowers and Easter, and if you pick a theme, I think it's easier to tie in the content, and then people kind of catch on to that theme. So starting with the guide, it makes it easier to swallow for content, because I think content is the hardest thing to come up with, and one of the reasons a lot of small businesses don't keep their profiles up to date. Stephanie, would you add anything to that?
Absolutely. As far as, spring cleaning your social profiles, I found that a great thing to do is to kind of write out all of your basic information. What's your business's name? What's the business website? What's the business phone number? What services do you provide? So once you know what that information is, then you go to each of your social media profiles, and we go to Facebook and we go, okay, does that information match? And we go to Twitter, does that information match? And we go down the line to which networks you're using, so that across the board everything is the same. So regardless of where a person finds you on what social network they may be active on, they find the same information. They know who you are, they know what you do, and they know how to contact you, which is super important, of course. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to dive into more specifically into one social network at a time, and we are going to start with the big one, Facebook. Facebook is one of those where every single demographic is represented. So regardless of your industry, Facebook works well. So we're going to talk about how do you spring clean that. So Heather, how would someone go about spring cleaning a Facebook business page?
Yeah, I love Facebook. I have yet to make a business that couldn't do well on a Facebook business page. I think it's very important for a small business to be present on there. The first thing I would suggest doing is creating a Facebook cover photo and making it really professional. There are dimensions that you need to have, and space requirements. You don't want words cut off or pictures cut off. So if you can hire someone to create a Facebook cover photo for you, you can also do it on some free sites like Canva and PicMonkey. They'll help you. But I think the cover photo is really important, and within that cover photo there's a place for description, and that's free real estate for you to tell other people how to connect with you. You can put a call to action there. Connect with us on Twitter and add your Twitter handle. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Put your LinkedIn profile link there, and also your website. Make sure to take advantage of that description within the Facebook cover photo. And then kind of touching back on what you just talked about, Stephanie, making sure that your bio and all of your profile information is accurate. If you had winter hours and are changing your hours, make sure those hours are up to date. Make sure your website is visible to people so that you can drive traffic to your website. And then again, make sure that you're posting on a regular basis. Was your last post in October? If so, put something up there that correlates with springtime. Maybe refresh people on who you are and what you do. Put a picture of yourself up there. Again, people love pictures. Just update that content and make sure that all the information there is accurate and up to date. Heather H., what else would you add to that?
I think, like you said, that because sometimes small business owners that are just getting started are just kind of maybe overwhelmed with what to post next, that they kind of have it where they haven't gone in and tweaked it and updated it, is just kind of focusing on like what they do and what they do best, and coming up with, let's say, 5 to 10 things that they do amazingly, and then they can ultimately repost some of that same information in a new and different way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, every business just needs to say they're not trying to go out there and do what someone else down the street is doing. They're trying to bring what they have as a unique part of doing business, and that's what they want to do, is come and have their own unique style, not necessarily just trying to recreate what everybody else is doing. And sometimes in the social space, that can be intimidating because, it might feel as if everybody is doing the same thing, but you guys know that those people that are standing out they're doing things just a little bit differently, and they're not necessarily worried about what everybody else is thinking. Those are the people that are really standing out and are able to really use social as a platform to just kind of help themselves like grow and like spring forward in their growth. I do want to remind everyone that wants to be live with us making comments that you can do that on social. We'll be checking those different platforms, but you want to use the hashtag SpringCleanSocial. And we are going to just dive right into our next question, and this is about Twitter. We want to know in the comments on the Google page, tell us, do you love Twitter or do you hate Twitter? And then we'll kind of do a quick little poll after this question. But the question for you, Heather, is on Twitter, what would someone want to spring clean? Like, what would they do on Twitter to specifically spring clean their social profile?
Sure. I love Twitter. It's taken me a few months to warm up to it, but it can be very overwhelming. I think for Twitter, again, your cover photo. Making it consistent with your Facebook cover photo so that when someone goes to Twitter, they see the same colors, the same themes. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, I know who this business is. I've seen them before. So making sure that cover photo is up to date and consistent. And then, again, your personal bio. Is it accurate? Are your hours right? Is your website up there? People want to find you. And change up your bio. Make it fun. It doesn't have to be a resume on there. You know, Twitter is about engaging with others. So put the things, hashtag your industry keywords, but also what you like to do as a person. Make it fun and take some risks. That's always, people like to see the human side of a business. Another way to clean up Twitter is you can do lists. So if you're following other businesses, you can put them into categories so that you know that you want to see all the social media people together, all the marketing people together, all the bloggers are together. That's an easy way to clean it up. For me, what I also do is I use Sprout Social, and there's a function where I can actually go in and find silent accounts that I may have followed. I will unfollow those silent accounts because they aren't doing anything and they're taking up numbers. So you want your followers and following ratio to be pretty close together. Ideally, we would all want to have more followers than actual people that we are following. If you're just getting started, that's probably a little bit harder to do because you want to follow people in order for them to follow you back. But just keep that in mind. If there's silent accounts, if there's people you may have followed who you're no longer interested in, I would unfollow them and just to keep that number ratio closer. And to keep up your news feed to keep it cleaner and not so cluttered with things that you may not be interested in. Stephanie, what would you add to that for Twitter?
I think, Heather, I think you touched on a lot of really great things. Leading into or kind of catching on to what you said about your Twitter bio, I change my Twitter bio constantly. Well, you say constantly, but it's usually like once a month. I'll actually go in and tweak it. I'll change out the hashtag that I threw in there. For example, if you go to Twitter right now and check my profile at @StephNissen_, you can see that I've used hashtags for Social Media Marketing World 2015. That immediately, when anybody searches for that hashtag getting ready for this huge conference in San Diego, my profile will come up because I've used it right there in my bio. So I wanted to do that because I want to network with more people. When the event is over, I will remove that hashtag and I'll replace it with something else. My hashtag the hashtags that I use tell people about who I am, but I do lots of different things, so I cycle through them. So I kind of do a little cleaning every month or so, especially on Twitter, because you only have a finite number of characters for that bio. So it's okay to change it up all the time because you're going to reach new people that way. So definitely with that with Twitter. We do want to encourage you, if you are on Twitter, again, you can use that hashtag, but you can post your Twitter link, your bio, your username, excuse me, in the chat box, or if you're watching this on YouTube, post it in the comment section, and we'll come back, check it out, and we'll definitely connect with you and follow you. If we don't follow you back right away, feel free. Just send us a tweet and say, hey, I saw you on your Hangout. I'd love to connect with you, and we'll make sure that that happens. Mm-hmm. So our next thing that we kind of want to dive into is talking about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, what most people use LinkedIn for is that personal profile as opposed to the company page. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on is as a professional, as a small business owner, an entrepreneur, how do I clean up my LinkedIn personal page? So Heather, what advice do you have for that?
Yeah, Stephanie, I tell people LinkedIn is like the professional Facebook. You're there to connect with other professionals, to highlight your skills, your background. I really like LinkedIn. And the very most important thing you can do on LinkedIn is put up a professional profile picture. I can't tell you how many people I still get requests from to connect with and they don't have a picture up. And these are successful people. And it's not hard to do. So put a little bit of money into it if you can and get a professional headshot done, or have a friend take a camera and take a picture of you with a blank background. Don't do a selfie in the car. Make it as professional as you can. I cannot stress how important that picture is. That's the first thing people see. So I would do that. I would also check out your work history. Make sure that if you have stopped working somewhere, you've stopped a project, that you put an end date in that. I noticed on my own LinkedIn account that I had not updated it in a while, and it said that I was still working on this project with someone, and I had ended that probably 6 months ago. So I put an end date on there. Make sure that your work history is up to date. And the other thing that I tell people to make sure is accurate and cleaned up is people can endorse you for skills, and these skills are based on keywords that are probably within your resume and within your profile on LinkedIn. So make sure that you're being endorsed for things that you actually can deliver or have done. I've had some clients and they'll call me and they'll say, someone keeps endorsing me for roofing and I don't do roofing. So we had to go back into his profile and see where roofing was located and take that out. So again, just make sure that your profile's up to date, that your skills are up to date, your dates are accurate, and that you're getting endorsed for things that you actually do and can deliver to clients. Heather, what would you add to that for LinkedIn?
I think sometimes LinkedIn can be overwhelming or intimidated for people just at the idea of going there, or maybe thinking that everyone else there is like making six-figure salaries, or maybe that they don't fit in. But again, LinkedIn, especially if you're there and you're in your profile, like I said, I can't emphasize, like you said, enough the headshot. The headshot is fantastic. But making sure that people are going in and just really updating the services that they offer, because it's not necessarily that they're maybe being endorsed for services that they don't necessarily do, but maybe when they started their business, they've honed their skills and they have added new services, but they haven't thought in the last 18 months to go back and add those in. So you want to make sure you're not missing out on new potential leads as your business grows for services that you may offer. So that's all I've got to say about that.
Banging on the door, so sorry about that.
No, that's fine. And I am posting, if anyone has any questions that you specifically would love for us to address on any of these platforms, please post those on the comment sections on the actual live Google Hangout page, and I'm checking those really quickly just to make sure that we don't leave anybody out. So we'll just dive right in. Don't forget, #SpringCleanSocial. If you gain any wisdom, we'd love for you to tweet about us, put it on Instagram, or put it anywhere on social. Facebook is awesome too. So Heather, are you ready for your next question?
Ready.
Okay, you don't need a bulletproof vest or anything, like low stress. So the last question that I have for you, what does a small business owner need to look at on Google+, regarding their social profile?
Oh, Google Plus. Yeah, it is a slow-growing social platform, but it is very important for the number one reason of Google search. So I have clients posting on Google Plus, even if all they do is post something. They don't have to look at anything else but update, share a link, share a photo. That's going to help your SEO, your search engine optimization. So as far as Google Plus, anyone who has a Gmail account, you're going to have a Google Plus page. You can have a personal page and you can have a business page. I would recommend both, especially for the small business. Personally, I post mostly from my personal Google Plus account at this point. I occasionally will also post to my business page, but I find that I have more connections and more of a network through my Google Plus personal page. So if we're talking about the Google Plus personal, again, that cover photo that hopefully matches the Twitter and the Facebook, you can hire someone to make all three for you, or you can do it yourself on something like canva.com. Again, your bio, your profile, is all the information accurate and up to date. Make sure your website is always on there. And then just making sure that you're posting up occasionally just to keep it fresh, keep it active and relevant. On all of these social platforms, you want to make sure that you're posting relevant information to your business. If you're a photographer, you don't need to be posting about cooking classes. Post about photography, and keep those posts relevant to your audience. That's why they're following you, because they're interested in your industry and your services as a photographer. Stephanie, what would you add to that?
One of the things that I would definitely add to that, as far as Google Plus, is unlike any other social network, Google Plus, in your description, in your bio on that business page and on your personal page as well, you can add hyperlinks. So on Twitter, you have a spot where you put your link. On Facebook, you have a spot where you put your website, and you could copy and paste a URL from somewhere within your bio. But what you can do on Google Plus is I can write a keyword and say, social media Missouri, social media marketing, or whatever I wanted to kind of tag, and highlight over it, and then create a hyperlink that goes to a particular page on my website that talks about exactly what I mentioned. There's no other social network that lets you do that, so it's something you should definitely take advantage of, again, for those SEO purposes, that Google sees that keyword relates to that URL, and you definitely want to take advantage of how many links you can add in there. You don't want to overstuff, of course, but strategically putting in a couple of extra ones where people can get more information about a particular service that you want to highlight is really important. So as far as spring cleaning Google Plus, it can be a huge deal, especially if you're a small business, if you just moved locations, if your services have changed. Just get in there, edit the profile, and just kind of go through like you would on any of these profiles. Go through step by step. Go check out each element of your description, your service area, what you do. All of those things are really important for you to take another look at. It's not, social media is not I set it up once and now I'm done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Regardless of the posting element, it's you do have to keep up with it, and it is work, which frankly, that's why people like me and Heather M and Heather H exist, is so that it's not so overwhelming.
No, absolutely. So what we're going to do is just kind of go over just a brief overview. We've had a chance to cover Facebook. We've had a chance to cover Twitter, Google Plus, and LinkedIn. So what we're hoping is that people who've been a part of this call or Hangout have been able to just gain a little bit of insight or wisdom on making some tweaks to their pages. And especially if you maybe you're listening to this and you feel you have lots to do, don't be overwhelmed. Like, even if you took 10 minutes a day to do something to make a change or a tweak, just by modifying like the About section on your Facebook page can make huge positive benefits. Wouldn't you agree, Stephanie?
Absolutely. Just, it doesn't have to be, overwhelming where you sit down for, an entire day and devote it to doing an audit and doing, cleaning up all your social profiles. Space it out. Say, I've got an extra 10 minutes. I'm going to go check out my Facebook and just kind of read through what I've got and make sure it's right. And if I see overwhelming issues, then I might say, okay, I'm going to add this to my task list, for my project list for this week or even this month if you are that busy. Those are, it can be overwhelming, and we don't want you to find it overwhelming. This is meant to help you. So
Right.
break it apart. Make it easy for yourself.
Yes. I do want to do a quick shout out to Dr. Is it Akina Finch? She has posted on Twitter, and she says, listening to hashtag Spring Clean Social Webinar with Heather Hyman, Stephanie Nissen, and Heather Michael Gard. So thank you so much for that tweet shout out. So what we're going to do real quick is just kind of roll into an opportunity for anyone who's doing social media by themselves as a small business. We hope that you've had some great takeaways that you can take and go and do yourself. But if you think that you could benefit from having someone help you with some of your social media, whether it be consulting or managing or all types of various opportunities, that's what the three of us actually do. We all have our own businesses. So we're going to basically just all give everyone who's listening or seeing this live or recorded a special offer. So all you have to do is actually follow up with us and let us know about the particular offer that you heard, and we will follow up with you individually to just really be able to give you quality customer service and get you taken care of. So first we're going to go to Heather Michael Gard, and Heather, share with everybody what your special offer is.
Thanks, Heather. Yeah, so I'm offering for the first 5 people that contact me, I will do a social audit on your Facebook business page for $25. So I will go into your Facebook business page, I will look and see what is working, what is not working, and then give you several suggestions of how to make it better. So that's the first 5 people that contact me. I will give you a social audit of your Facebook business page for just $25 and give you a written report of how you can make your Facebook business page blossom and look completely awesome for the spring.
Very good. Thank you so much. And I'll just kind of go right in real quick to my offer. I'm Heather Hyman with Sweet Tea Social Marketing. And if you don't know yet, and prepare yourself, it's okay. But this month, actually next Friday, is my 40th birthday, and I'm just embracing it because, women are not supposed to talk about their age. But I think that's old school. Who cares? I'm excited. But anyway, in honor and celebration of my 40th birthday, the offer that I have is $40 for an hour phone coaching consultation. So what does that mean? That basically means if you're a small business owner and you're kind of not quite sure what the next step is, or maybe you're doing it on your own, but you want to talk to someone that does this day in and day out for tips and ideas and strategy ideas to help you take your business to the next step, that's what that is for. So just reach out to me. And that will be a great way for me just to connect with you on a personal level and just be able to coach you and give you that individualized attention that you may need for your business. And that would be, again, just $40 for a 1-hour phone consultation. And Stephanie Nissen, share with us what your special offer is.
Absolutely, thank you. So what I'm doing is right along with this Spring Clean Social theme is we talked about you need new cover photos, to update them, get them optimized, and make sure that they're consistent across the board. So that's what I'm offering. I will design your cover photos for you on Facebook and Twitter, and I will do it for only $47. So that's all the graphic design, and that's working with you to find out what you want to feature. I'll give my insight, what we should feature. What colors work well. We make sure it works across the board. It ties into your website. It ties into your message. So for $47, I'll give you a brand new custom Facebook cover photo and a brand new custom Twitter cover photo. I've never offered it this low before, but it's something that people need. And as a small business owner, you may not have those graphic design, just those chops to be able to knock one out. So I'm offering that. And if you're interested, all you have to do is send me an email. You can send it over to contact, CONTACT, nissanmedia.net, or you can reach out on Twitter or here on Google Plus or on YouTube. You know, I'm pretty much always available, and as all of us are, we're on all the social networks because this is what we do, so we're pretty easy to get in touch with. So I know that Heather Hyman, she's going to post on the Google page and on YouTube all of our contact information, so it'll be really easy to get in touch with us all.
Yes, I in fact just posted it. So anyone who's looking for that information can see all of our emails, our Twitter handles, and just easy ways to get connected with us. But what we're hoping is that everyone is able to take away from this something. You may not be able to make changes to all of your platforms, or you may not even be on all of these platforms for your business, but everybody should hopefully be able to gain some insight on how to make your social media better for your business. That's our goal.
Absolutely. So, Heather, were there any questions that we needed to address?
No, I have been following just to double check to make sure that I hadn't missed anything, but I don't see anything. But if someone does who's watching this have a question, you can certainly see our contact information, reach out to us, and we'll definitely follow up back with you via email. So you can always get in touch with us after the Hangout has ended. So from that angle, that's it.
All right, so Heather, Michael Gard, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. It's been nice and easy, which, you know, no pressure. So did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. Thank you, Stephanie and Heather. It was very fun just to hang out and have a conversation. And, you know, my last thought for people is Facebook, social media, it all can be so overwhelming. And if you're just getting started, you know, you don't have to be on every platform. Find the ones where your audience is spending the most time, and you can do that by asking your customers, where do you spend time on social media? And then, you know, if you're new to it, just completing those profiles is the first step. Making sure your LinkedIn's complete, your Facebook's complete, and then you can go back in and start with the posts and the content. But yeah, it can be so overwhelming, but there is help out there, and just, you know, take it a day at a time. And I think Heather H. said it too. If you just schedule 10 minutes a day to review your platforms and see where you stand, that is progress, and that's great. That's more than a lot of people do. So schedule it in your phone, you know, make it a meeting for yourself to just get on there and see what other people are doing. Check out your competitors, but don't do exactly what they're doing. Be yourself, be authentic, and tell your story. Tell people who you are. Why should they work with you, for you? I can't stress the authenticity part of it. It's not about just being a billboard and screaming out your message. It's about having a conversation and being yourself. So this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Stephanie and Heather, for having me, and I hope to come back again soon.
Sounds great. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Stephanie Nissen, is there anything else, or are we finishing this up?
I think we're good to go. So again, thank you all for joining us. If you watched us live, we are so happy that you joined us. If you're watching this later on YouTube, just know that you can absolutely reach out to any of us and contact us about the offers that you heard. Those are still valid. You just let us know, hey, I saw you on YouTube and I want to take advantage of that. So our contact information, again, is on the event page, but we'll also have it on YouTube in the caption so that you can reach out to any one of us. So again, thank you for joining us, and have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Take care.